Job chapter 5. Call if you will, but who will answer you? To which of the holy ones will you turn? Resentment kills a fool, and envy slays the simple. I myself have seen a fool taking root, but suddenly his house was cursed. His children are far from safety, crushed in court without a defender. The hungry consume his harvest, taking it even from among thorns, and the thirsty pant after his wealth. The hardship does not spring from the soil, nor does trouble sprout from the ground. Yet man is born to trouble, as surely as sparks fly upwards. But if I were you, I would appeal to God. I would lay my cause before him. He performs wonders that cannot be fathomed, miracles that cannot be counted. He provides rain for the earth. He sends water on the countryside. The lowly he sets on high, and those who mourn are lifted to safety. He thwarts the plans of the crafty, so that their hands achieve no success. He catches the wise in their craftiness, and the schemes of the wily are swept away. Darkness comes upon them in the daytime. At noon they grope as in the night. He saves the needy from the sword in their mouth. He saves them from the clutches of the powerful. So the poor have hope, and injustice shuts its mouth. Blessed is the one whom God corrects. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. For he wounds, but he also binds up. He injures, but his hands also heal. From 6 calamities he will rescue you. In 7, no harm will touch you. In famine he will deliver you from death, and in battle from the stroke of the sword. You will be protected from the lash of the tongue, and need not fear when destruction comes. You will laugh at destruction and famine, and need not fear the wild animals. For you will have a covenant with the stones of the field, and the wild animals will be at peace with you. You will know that your tent is secure. You will take stock of your property and find nothing missing. You will know that your children will be many, and your descendants like the grass of the earth. You will come to the grave in full vigor, like sheaves gathered in season. We have examined this, and it is true. So hear it, and apply it to yourself.
Matthew chapter 27. Early in the morning, all of the chief priests and the elders of the people make their plans how to have Jesus executed. So they bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate, the governor. When Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus has condemned, he was seized and remorse and returned the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. I have seen, he said, for I have betrayed innocent blood. What is that to us? They replied. That's your responsibility. So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. The chief priest picked up the coin and said, it is against the law to put his into the treasury, since it's blood money. So they decided to use the money to buy the potter's field and as a burial place for foreigners. That is why it has been called for the field of blood to this day. Then what was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet was fulfilled. They took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on him by the people of Israel, and they used to them to buy the potter's field, as the Lord commanded me. Meanwhile stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, are you the king of the Jews? You have said so. Jesus replied. When he was accused by the chief priests and the elders, he gave no answer. Then Pilate asked him, don't you hear the testimony they are bringing against you? But Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge, to the great amazement of the governor. Now it was the governor's custom at the festival to release a prisoner as by the crowd. At that time, they had a well-known prisoner whose name was Jesus Barabbas. So when the crowd has gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want me to release to you, Jesus Barabbas, or Jesus who called the Messiah? For he knew it was out of the self-interest that they had handed over to him. While Pilate was sitting on the judge seat, his wife sent him a message. don't have anything to do with that innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and the elders persuade the crowd to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus executed. Which of the two of you want me to release to you? Asked the governor. Barabbas. They answered. What shall I do then with Jesus who called the Messiah? Pilate asked. They all answered, crucify him. Why? What crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they shout all the louder, crucify him. When Pilate saw that him getting nowhere, but that instead of uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. I am innocent of this man's blood, he said. It is your responsibility. All his people answered, his blood on us and on our children. Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus flogged and handed him over to crucify. Then the governor's soldiers took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and they twist together a crown of thorns, set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand. Then they knelt in front of him and mocked him. Hail, King of the Jews, they said. Then spit on him, and took the staff and struck him on the head again and again. After he had mocked him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry a cross. They came to a place called Golgotha. Then they offered Jesus wine to drink, mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, they kept watch over him here. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Two rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by hurled insult at him, shaking their heads and saying, You are going to destroy the temple and build it 3 days. Save yourself, come down from the cross. If you are the Son of God, if the same way of the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him, he saved others. They said, but he can save himself. He is the King of Israel. And let him cross down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. Believe in trust in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he said, I am the Son of God. And the same way the rebels who were crucified with him also heaped insult of him. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why are you forsaken me? When some those standing there heard this, they said, He calling Elijah. Immediately one of them ran, got a sponge, with filled him with it white vinegar, put it on a staff, and offered it to Jesus to drink. The rest said, Now leave me alone. Let's see Elijah's come to save him. And that Jesus had cried aloud again voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in the two top bottom of bottom. The earth shook, rock split, and the tomb blocks opened. The bodies of many holy people who have died raised to life. They came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and they went to the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake that all had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God." Many women were there watching from a distance. They had followed Jesus from Galilee to care for his needs. Among the- them were Mary Magdalene, Joseph, Mary was the James of Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's son. 57. As evening approached, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who was himself a disciple of Jesus. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body, and Pilate ordered that give me to him. Joseph took the body, wrapped into the clean linen cloth, and it is placed it on his own in a new tomb, and he had cut out of the rock. He rolled a big stone in front of the entrance to the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other many Mary were sitting opposite the tomb. The next day, the one after preparation day, the chief priests and the Pharisees went to Pilates. So they said, "Remember that while he was still alive, and the disciples said, 'After 3 days I will rise again.' So give the order for the tomb to be made secure until the third day. Otherwise, his disciples may come and steal the body and tell the people that he raised from the dead. This last deception will be worse than the first. Take the guard." Pilate answered, "Go, make the tomb and secure as you know how." So they went the tomb by secure by putting a seal of the stone and posting the guard. Thank you.